Palma. Oh,
Oh, man.
pass. That's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game.
To Del Fuentes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado makes the shot and knocks it down. Malonia is open. 3-point. Oh my goodness! Face a jumper by Robin Senes. Bataliano has time. Now it's Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness!
Patuloy po ang pasiklaban dito sa lungsod ng Caloocan. We are here at the Caloocan Sports Complex, our fourth time this season, as the Batang Kangkalu will try to defend their home court later on. But first, we have this interesting showdown between two squads. For Pampanga, led by RJ Concepcion, although he was having himself a somewhat dismal outing kontra sa Caloocan, and James Sena will have his hands full against the towering front line nitong Pampanga. It's a Giant Lanterns taking on the Zamboanga Sikat in the second game of our Friday triple header. This is the Marliga Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Ken Panglinan with Coach Mike Perez at courtside. We have Miss Sydney Crespo. Coach, Zamboanga is in the midst of a 5-game winning streak. Pampanga galing lang sa pagkatalo. How do you see this matchup playing out in tonight's match?
Well, this is going to be a very competitive game. For tandaan natin, plus game 6-game winning streak itong Pampanga before that loss recently against the Caloocan, and I'm sure those guys would want to come back. Samantalang itong Zamboanga, gotta keep that streak going.
And magandang gabi po sa lahat na nanonood on Facebook and on YouTube. And we're also live on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays starting at 6 p.m. And Pampanga, like you said, they were on a 6-game winning run. But itong laban nila against Caloocan, this was Batang Kangkalu stamping their experience in this game because they led in this ball game by as many as I think 19 points. Coach Mike, humabol lang yung Pampanga but just fell short in the end game here.
Actually, flat yung start ng Pampanga in that game. They only had 10 points in the first quarter, trailed in at the half, trailed in the third, but they made an 8-point run, trying to be able to get the 1-point lead at 72-71, but eventually lost by 3. Then it really was just about endgame execution. May tatlong possessions sila that could have, won that game for them and gotten them their second game win streak. They shot the ball well from the field, but they got outscored from 3, and the missed free throws really mattered a lot in the result of that game, and Pampanga losing that match.
And the defending champions, Coach Mike, will take on the somewhat surprising Zamboanga Sikat squad. And who would have thought that we're deep already here in the regular season, that Zamboanga is number 1 in the league, and in their last game against Quezon City, nakita natin na nahirapan sila ng bahagya in Palayan City. Quezon City, a young team that they are, they were able to push Zamboanga to the limit, but the Sikat were able to push the right buttons as well in the fourth quarter.
This is actually a very pleasant surprise for this season itong Zamboanga. In that game, they trailed in the first and the second, pero made a huge comeback in the third and the fourth quarter. And a lot of that has to do with shooting the ball well, controlling the boards, and got a lot of bench points in there. Plus 11 pesos sila pagdating sa suportang nanggagaling sa iba pa mga players sa kanilang team. At plus 15 yung rebounds na nagawa nila. Sawat had 14, Kawilan had 11, Rojas had 12, James Sena had 12. These guys really contributing to that win para dito sa Zamboanga.
And for Zamboanga, I think one of the guys that they have to watch out in terms of defending itong Pampanga is Larry Muyang. He is leading the team in terms of scoring and rebounding. And the loss of Balti Baltasar put some doubt into the aspirations of Pampanga as a championship contender again this season. But boy, Larry Muyang showing us, especially here, despite this loss against Caloocan, still dominating in the paint. Ito si Larry Muyang.
Yeah, yan 24 points na yan. I do recall a huge part of that coming in the third quarter where he really was just unstoppable close to the rim in the paint. Nobody could stop him on post-ups and what have you. He was making his free throws, and so it matters a lot how you are gonna cover a Larry Muyang, especially on the low block.
And Larry Muyang will have the plethora of defenders James Sena, very experienced, veteran big man para dito kay Coach Egay Macaraya. And Abdul Sawat as well, magtutulong-tulong no, in trying to contain itong si Larry Muyang, who's been having a splendid season so far. It's Pampanga versus Zamboanga in their second game. Let's go to Miguel Pare to introduce our starters.
Action continues here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. Welcome to our second game between Pampanga and Zamboanga on the 2025 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7. Let's meet the starting fives, beginning with the reigning and defending MPBL champions, Pampanga Giant Lanterns, AMG3 Construction. Starting at guard, number 18, Andre Armeñon. Forward, number 9, Chris Lalata. Center, number 1, Larry Muyang. Also at guard, number 10, John Lloyd Clemente. And the other forward, number 2, the Royal Bazooka, Archie Concepcion. The Giant Lanterns is led by Pedic de Matulak. Coaching consultants, Alan Trinidad, Mervin Mercado, and Georgie Jovicic. Assistant team managers, Ronald Nulud and Raymond Guevara. Team manager and team owner is Aurelio A.G. Gonzalez III. Here comes the starting five for Zamboanga Sikat. Starting at guard, number 0, Michael Are. Also at guard, number 15, Reg Gabat. Center, number 1, James Una. Forward, number 18, JP Kawilan. Also at forward, number 17, Abdul Sawat. The head coach for Zamboanga Sikat is Pong Ramos. Assistant coaches, Ian Valdez, Aileen Leponio, Louis Bautista, and Carl Laruza. Team consultant, Hegay Macaraya. Team managers, Ramay Raham and Alvin Muño. Team owners, Omar Chua and TP Cao.
Starting five brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. It's Pampanga versus Zamboanga for the Giant Lanterns. Andre Armeñon, JLC, Larry Muyang, Archie Concepcion, and Chris Lalata. For the Sikat, Michael Are, Reg Gabat, James Una, JP Kawilan, and Abdul Sawat. And you notice as Zamboanga was being introduced, yung starting lineup nila, Roy Sumang is in street clothes, so he will not play in today's game, and we'll probably hear more on that from Miss Sid later on the status of Roy Sumang. And it's an important development because Zamboanga is facing off against Pampanga, who's trying to bounce back from that yung talo nga nila no, against Caloocan. Zamboanga in orange getting the first possession after winning the tip. Pampanga in white. Mabilis agad yung opensiba nitong Zamboanga. Abdul Sawat, no good. Offensive rebound by Zamboanga. And Michael Are will have a bigger role in today's match. Kawilan off the heel on that three. JLC will bring the ball down after getting the rebound. Bola mananatili sa panig ng Pampanga.
Well, so far, much as we know that the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, the defending champs, have just so much pride in them. They want to recover from that close loss against Caloocan. Pero ito nakikita natin kanina, ang ganda ng execution ng Zamboanga. Didn't end up with the basket. But you saw the ball and the man movement, and even the first two defensive stops have been pretty good for Zamboanga.
They're setting the tone, playing with a lot of force. Like this one, Michael Are straight to the cup for the first basket for Zamboanga.
Well, in so far as start, Zamboanga is getting what they want, at least for the first, 3 possessions that we've had here in this match. And so, the Giant Lanterns do understand, naka-win streak tong mga to. Kailangan pantayan natin yung kanilang effort at kanilang energy sa laban na to.
And Armeñon caught napping and the help wasn't really there. Michael Are, bit too easy on that layup.
And just an open lane right there. Well, wala kang nakitang tumulong galing sa corner kasi maganda rin ang 3-point shooting nitong Zamboanga. So, the thing that you like about this matchup, sabihin na natin yung mga bigs, Larry Muyang versus James Sena and what have you, but I like the set of guards from both teams. You know, Archie Concepcion, Raymond Binuya, Andre Armenion, going up against Michael Are, Sawad, and Achi, Chino Mosqueda,
Yes.
and that's a really good set of guards that we have in this game.
Yeah, Richie Altamirano will come off the bench. Michael Are. Now James Una sends it to JP Kawilan. Michael Are pupukol sa tres. Bit off. Long rebound ends up with Reg Gabat. Kawilan down low to Abdul Sawat. Laban kay JLC and he traveled.
Good defensive stand there by JLC against that spin baseline by Abdul Sawat. See Coach Bong right there for Zamboanga. He's done a good job with Zamboanga. You know, wala na yung mga offensive schemes nila are really very, very impressive. Ball and man movement, ang dami.
Oo, tulungan talaga sila ni Coach Egay eh.
Oo, sila ni Coach Egay, ganda ng kombinasyon eh.
JLC way off on that three. Zamboanga tracks it down. Michael Are, ganda nung cut ni James Una. Lays it up and in.
And in so far as momentum has been, really looking more like a Zamboanga game here. And katulad nung nangyari dun sa game nila against Caloocan, slow start itong Pampanga. And the hope is, you know, makaano ka agad, magandang simula para sa kanila in this match.
Abdul Sawat. There's a foul called and it will go against Zamboanga. Pass for the game, brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke. That was James Una, the recipient of that pass. 4-1 Zamboanga. 7:20 left here in the first period. Andre Armenion gets it to Chris Lalata. Concepcion really going for those shots, but he commits an offensive foul, much to his chagrin. May hawi na nakita doon ng ating game official. Putting the ball on the floor. Not really much there. Although yun may a slight extension of the arm. JP Kawilan, pocket pass. Michael Are for free. Still no go. JLC the rebound.
Better effort defensively para sa Pampanga that last stand.
Clemente lalapit. And Pampanga has yet to get a field goal in this game so far.
I don't think that ball has touched the post yet para dito sa Pampanga.
Yeah.
It's been pretty much, you know, paint touches and rim attacks.
Halos di pa nahawakan ni Larry Muyang yung bola dito.
Agree.
And you know, also credit the defense of Zamboanga. Like this one.
Yeah.
Sa point of attack pa lang, mayroon na silang point of pressure, Coach Mike.
Oh. Tsaka, well, you see the discipline as you see Coach Pedic De Matulak right there. You see the discipline rin ng Zamboanga on the defensive philosophies. You get them in the trap area, you know, you go in double.
Kita mo, Larry Muyang, as soon as he made his move, mayroong secondary defender na nakabang.
And they're allowing him to catch the ball on the low block, and that double comes when he puts the ball on the floor.
Oh, this is Kalisay after James Una airballed that three. Kalisay with a three-point play opportunity after getting fouled. Caught out of position si John Lloyd Clemente dun eh.
Oh. And the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, as much as they haven't scored yet, It's really more of, I feel yung hustle plays no? The Zamboanga Giant Lanterns very early on in this match getting everything that they expect to get, Field goal attempts, field goal makes, stops. There you go.
Ganda. Oh, Lalata.
Oh, man.
Blows it. But great effort getting it back.
Kung gusto mo doon, makeable shot yon kung ikaw ang Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
Buyang
There
sa
you go.
loob. First field goal after more than 4 minutes for Pampanga.
Definitely yan ang anchor nila pagdating sa babae. Larry Muyang. And maganda dito kay Larry, he understands his role now this season. He understands kung ano yung binigay ni Baltasar those couple of championships. Sabi niya in that interview last game, sabi niya okay na yun, alam na natin na nag-champion sila, pero ito gagawin ko talaga yung best ko this season and bahala na ako ano maging result. And so far, at least in the games that we've played, we've seen that kind of Larry Muyang that the Giant Lanterns hope to perform.
To deep seal against James Una. The Royal Bazooka. RG Concepcion fired a lot of blanks in their last game against Caloocan.
Yeah.
Only had 7 points.
Oo, medyo challenge si Archie offensively. Pero maganda naman sa kanya, bumabawi siya sa depensa. Yun lang talaga yung shot making. The usual Archie Concepcion that you would love to see for the Giant Lanterns.
And almost all of the guys for Pampanga were outside the arc.
Look at the pace, no?
Yun nga eh. Dito mo sa Zamboanga, unang possession pa lang, the force that they're playing with, the pace that they have, and it has really brought Pampanga na sila naman ngayon, sila yung naghahabol to try to keep up with the intensity as LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL.
Tsaka basta may pagkakataon tumakbo, tatakbuhan talaga no? Just very intentional on that aspect of the game. They are treating misses as parang live turnovers And so you miss, we're gonna run on you. You get a turnover, we're gonna run on you again. And if you make a shot, susubukan rin namin. Pero pag wala, kumpiyansa kami sa half-court set namin. Look at that defense.
Blocking foul will be called on Zamboanga.
And they've been blitzing that high quadrant on that side of the floor. Ang daming best nakita natin, nagdo-double team, no? Biniblitz nila kung sino yung may dala ng ball. If that ball ends up near the sideline and you haven't picked up your dribble yet, they're gonna double on you until such time na, pressured ka na.
Alcoriza kakapasok lang, missing on a free. Again, as soon as Larry Muyang catches the basketball, merong double team attempt agad itong Zamboanga. Med Salim. No, rebound, James Una, kicked out pass, Ichi Altamirano. That screen is deemed illegal, offensive foul against James Una.
Yeah, James Una definitely moving towards the defender right there. You gotta hold your ground and allow the defender at least one step to get to you so that you don't get called for that foul. But that moment, hindi na niya binigyan ng space. Siya pa yung pumunta dun sa pwesto ng defender niya.
Raymond Binuya now on the floor for Pampanga. Larry Muyang
Gotta take that.
setting his feet but can't connect on the free. No scoring game, and this is why field goal shooting has been paltry to say the least for both teams. 3 of 11 for Zamboanga, 1 of 8, 12.5%. Oh, Raymond Binuya almost escaping the defense, but Zamboanga counter-attack, layup goes for Ichi Altamirano.
They've all had numbers every time down the floor. That was what, a 3-4 versus 2? And really just very able decision makers on an open floor.
Alcoriza gets it back from Egilos. Raymond Binuya susubok sa tres.
Oh man.
That was a bad miss from Raymond Binuya from the outside.
Just 10 points the previous game in the first quarter against Caloocan. This is another low-scoring first quarter para dito sa Giant Lanterns. Only 3 so far with still 3 minutes remaining.
Binuya called for that foul. Still had one foul to give. Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Baba ng scoring natin, 9-3.
Right. Well, and so far as multiple attempts on the side of the Giant Lanterns, outside of Larry Muyang, it's only JLC. John Lloyd Clemente, who's had multiple shot attempts, but he's 0 out of 3, hasn't made one yet. So it's only been Larry Muyang who scored from the field. Boy, just a tough start here for the Giant Lanterns.
GP Faundo now in, as well as Don Gumaru. Salim. Baseline drive, floats it up, no.
Good help.
He lost the rebound.
Good help by Faundo right there on that drive.
Binuya nagtitimon. Gumaru. Naibalik ni Egilos ang bola kay Donald. Gumaru laban kay Ichi Altamirano. Binuya makes his move. Would bounce off his knee or his leg. Bola babalik sa Zamboanga.
Boy, even Raymond Binuya on a slow start today. He was part of the spark plug in the second half, especially in that fourth quarter run. He just kept on pounding and pounding, trying to keep the game close and get a win for the Giant Lanterns. Matter of fact, even in last possession, we were thinking that ball has to go through either Larry Muyang or Raymond Binuya. That never happened.
Penalty na ang Pampanga, so free throws coming up for Ichi Altamirano. Former San Sebastian Golden Stag. Struggling at the free throw line, only 42.1%. Pretty uncharacteristic for Ichi. Special deal from 1xBet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer. Split at the line. But Zamboanga up by 7. Pampanga 3 points pa lang, ha?
Yep.
Been scoreless for more than 5 minutes.
They've had 10 attempts, 6 of them from 3, didn't make any. And the only point came in that low post by Larry Muyang.
Na hindi rin naging madali kanina.
Oo.
So lahat pahirapan.
Oh, wow.
Ang nakaagaw pa dito ang Zamboanga, tatakbo sila. Medsalim. Stops on the dime, float shot, no.
Another good help by Faundo. That's twice already that Faundo's done that.
Alcoriza, the first conversion from beyond the arc for Pampanga.
Well, Alcoriza has always been a key presence para dito sa Pampanga Giant Lanterns. He was crucial in that win against Quezon. And in their last game, Alcoriza had 10 points to go with his 3 assists.
That shot rejected by GP Faundo. No seconds on her shot clock. So this move by Altamirano, but Faundo with the help. Ito naman tres ni Renz Alcoriza, who has struggled shooting the rock, especially in the beginning, but has found the stroke lately. And that shot from beyond the arc cuts the lead down to 4, 10-6. Alright, next 3 games of Zamboanga on May 29 versus Davao Occidental, on June 6 laban sa Batangas City, and on June 12 against Nueva Ecija. Oh man, especially those last 2, Batangas, Nueva Ecija. Si Ascom.
Ascom.
Sana all.
With really nice kicks today, which I love.
Sena getting the rebound after Salim missed another free. Chino Mosqueda. Swing pass. Kalisay. Masyadong malakas yung dress.
He hurried it.
Alcoriza steps back from the other side. Bucket!
What you like, that's a good use of a 2-for-1 situation right there. Oh, the shot clock is off. I thought they still had maybe 3 or 4 more seconds after that made attempt.
Hindi na inbound agad eh.
Oo.
Actually, pwede rin palang ploy yun, no?
Oo, yeah.
Tanggalin mo yung 2-for-1.
Kasi hindi tumatakbo yung oras mo eh.
Oo, hindi mo wag mo muna yung inbound. That was Altamirano with that missed shot from the outside. First quarter comes to an end. Zamboanga with a big start. But I think we have someone who is... No, actually, kala ko may milestone. But check out the highlights here in the first quarter because Zamboanga had a strong start to this one, 10-3 before those back-to-back triples by Renz Alcoriza to finish the quarter para dito sa Pampanga.
It really was about, you know, the defense of the Zamboanga Zamboanga team. They forced the Giant Lanterns into 5 turnovers, to which they got 5 points off of it. You know, early possessions pa lang, nakikita mo na yung difficulty in the stops. But good thing, Renz Alcoriza came off the bench and started things real well offensively para sa Giant Lanterns.
10-9 for Zamboanga at the end of quarter number 1.
Welcome back to the MPBL. Wake-up call itong pagkatalo ng Pampanga Giant Lanterns sa Caloocan Batang Kangkalu. Wake-up call para sa kanilang priority sa loob ng court, sa kumpiyansa nila, sa kanilang mga open shots at sa kanilang presence of mind sa depensa. Sabi nga ni Coach Pedic de Matulak na hindi ito ang Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Itong mga bagay na to, aminado siya, nag-struggle daw talaga sila. Kaya nung kinausap niya ang Giant Lanterns, sabi niya yung kumpiyansa nyo dapat consistent, hindi yung on-off. Depende sa lamang, depende sa kalaban. Hindi nga naman daw talaga ito ang Giant Lanterns niya. Ngayon, sabi ni Coach Pedic, may mga mas bata, mas mabilis, may physicality ang Zamboanga. Kailangan mapantayan natin sila sa depensa pa lang. Back to 0 na daw ang hiling niya sa Giant Lanterns. Kalimutan na natin ang last game. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Sid. And just bouncing off to that report, Coach Mike, you know, nahirapan kasing Pampanga because yung intensity ng Zamboanga from the get-go was on a different level. But once they got adjusted here, yung sa physicality nga na binanggit ni Sid, they were able to execute much better and those threes have been falling in the past couple of sequences. As we see, ito si Chino Mosqueda get fouled on his way to the basket.
Yeah, and one thing that you love about Coach Pedic, nakikita mo yung very relatable siya sa mga players. The players, in my opinion, based on my observation, tend to gravitate towards him. You know, getting instructions just like what we're seeing right now. The players talking to Coach Pedic on a dead ball. And make no mistake about it, Coach Pedic has given really good confidence din dito sa mga players niya sa Giant Lanterns. Kaya pinapaalalahanan niya palagi yun.
This video brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
Kasi hindi pwedeng mawala yung kumpiyansa na yun eh, di ba? Lalo na defending champions. They have enough guys who were holdovers from the championship run. And definitely Archie Concepcion and Raymond Binuya are two of the guys that they'll be holding on to.
Binuya, Mentes. GP Faundo inside, no foul call. Rebound, Edsel Rojas. Choi Ignacio, Chino Mosqueda, James Sena. Part of the crew para dito sa Zamboanga. Oh, that shot is in from James Sena.
Yeah, yung layup na yun ni James Sena, that went in, but if you're the Giant Lanterns, gusto mo yung pinapakitang depensa na yun ni Renz Alcoriza. I mean, just kept chasing, trying to defend.
Sa loob, Jmo Egilos getting the basket, 14 all. Also sa Zamboanga, Jason Credong, who's handling the rock right now. Bounce pass to Edsel Rojas. Drag his pivot foot, yeah. 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
One of the things that you give that ball on the post is you're trying to shrink that defense. You anticipate there's a secondary defender that comes in. You gotta have an off-ball guy to dive inside so that you dump it to him, which happens to be what happened in that last sequence para dito sa Giant Lanterns.
Umaru getting his own miss, puts it back in for Pampanga. Lamang na sila dito, Coach Mike.
And Gumaru, he's had 5 points so far in the second quarter show, and he's been doing good.
Put back will not work for Troy Ignacio. Foul call against Zamboanga.
Sa sobrang lalim din ng guard rotation itong dalawang teams na to. And alam mo, Pampanga Giant Lanterns right now on the floor, it's Gumaru, CJ Delfino, and Renz Alcoriza. I mean, those guys definitely can find ways to score on that offensive side of the floor and help out defensively.
Miguel Pangalinan also in. He's from UST. Can hit the free and can play the 3 or 4 spots. Naka dito sa Pampanga.
So far, malinaw yung defensive schemes nitong dalawang teams na to. But I feel mas consistent in terms of execution itong Zamboanga. Alcoriza will miss that 3.
Pangilinan tried to grab the rebound. Ball will go back to Zamboanga. And dito mararamdaman yung kawalan ni Roy Sumang today.
Yes.
Because when they get into stretches where they have those scoring droughts, Coach Mike, usually si Roy Sumang can bail them out of that rut.
Oo, at saka yung pagtimon muna bago pumuntos. To set up the table. Let's figure out how we're gonna score, and if every other option is not there, don't worry, guys. I'm gonna finish it up for you.
That's in Rojas though. With the deuce, we're tied 16-all, 6 minutes and 38 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Welcome back to the MPBL. Kita na nga natin na hindi naka-uniform itong si Roy Sumang sa napaka-importanting game na ito. Kita nyo sa kanya yung paghihinayang kanina in the pregame, no? Sabi niya, sayang to habang tinuturo ang Pampanga. Roy is nursing his right calf na natuhod daw last game. Actually, may pasa daw ito, namamaga pa. Hindi na rin siya nakapag-ensayo. Sabi naman ni Coach Egay, okay lang yan. Minsan sa basketball, mawawalan ka talaga ng tao, pero makikita mo yung iba. So this is a good time for others to give their contributions in this very important game. Importante dahil para kay Coach Egay, they will gain respect if they win this game. It can be their statement win. Coach Mike.
Thank you so much, Sid. And Zamboanga will have to do that without Super Sumang. And the type of player that Roy Sumang is, alam mo yung competitive fire na meron siya, Coach. Gustong-gusto niyang makalaro sa ganitong klaseng laban, especially against the defending champions in Pampanga.
Yeah, if he can, he would. Pero yung sombrero niya, ang ganda. Ang ganda ng sombrero niya. Ang ganda ng pagkakadali na Roy Sumang. Tsaka yung leadership ba? We saw that in that game against Ilagan, if I recall correctly, where they won that close game. Roy Sumang was pretty much the one who was setting up the table, not just as a point guard, but even as a scorer.
Yeah. Nahanap na niya yung tamang balance no? Because, before, especially when he was with UE, kaya niyang bumuhat in terms of scoring, in terms of, just having that scoring load upon his shoulders. But as he matured, especially dami na rin na niyang pinagdaanan, Coach, no? And we'll discuss more of that because we have a challenge here by Coach Pedic. We'll pause for a break. We'll be back for the result.
Upon review, the challenge was successful.
Successful was Coach Pedic on challenging that last call. This was a drive by Choi Ignacio.
Yeah, clearly.
So, pupunta sa Pampanga yung bola. Tied game. Approaching the 6-minute mark of the second period. Larry Muyang back in. Archie
There you go.
finding the stroke, knocking down his first three of the ball game.
And si Archie Concepcion, you know, streak shooter yan. So you gotta be mindful. You don't want to start this guy going if you're a Zamboanga.
0 of 11 ang Zamboanga from beyond the arc. And that's actually one of their strongest suits this season. They're number 2 in terms of 3-point makes and 3-point percentage as a steal. Almost completed. But JLC saving it to the wrong man. Zamboanga gets it back. Reg Gabat. Michael Ari back to Gabat. Pupukol ng tres from the left corner. And that's the first free of Zamboanga in this ballgame.
And just understanding spacing and coverages and timing. You know, he went to drive on the baseline side. We understood there was going to be a strong side corner fill right there. And just going up to take that shot.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances. Archie, hard drive, reverse. And Archie, nakita mo kanina sa labas, ngayon pinasok sa loob.
Nakita mo yung pagkakalma ngayon ni Coach Pedic pagdating dun sa mga offensive attempts nila. Understanding, that's one of my best guys right there doing the right things. Speaking of Archie Concepcion.
Jason Credo. Switch. Entry pass, Edsel Rojas. Laban kay JLC. Rojas in trouble. Smothered by Miguel Pangilinan, who gets the block with a steal. Michael Are. And that was over Archie Concepcion.
Well, Archie was trying to push the ball to the other side, trying to get it immediately to their point guard in Arminion, but you know that ball got deflected, and so turnover.
You get a feeling, Coach Mike, as another steal leads to this basket by Reg Gabat. Whoever will be the first who will wilt under the pressure will have a massive disadvantage in this game.
I agree, and this is so far, I'd like to think has been a defensive game. And you've seen those turnovers and the points that they're getting off of it. This was the second straight point of turnover para dito sa Zamboanga.
Fast break the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere. And back-to-back baskets by Zamboanga. And they have come out in front again. It's 23-21 for the Sikat.
Last game, sobrang pangit ng performance ko. Parang para sa akin, nahiya din ako sa mga teammates ko dahil hinabol nila yung 19 points. So ako, parang hindi ako nakakontribute that time. And para sa akin, kulang din yung volume ng tira ko. Kaya ngayon, sa game na to, babawi talaga ako. More volume of shot talaga yung gagawin ko ngayon.
Concepcion. Those are his season averages, but like he mentioned, he struggled in their game against Caloocan, only 7 points. Yun actually, yung titignan mo doon, Coach Mike, doon sa graphic, yung number of attempts din eh. Only 7 attempts. Not really normal for an Archie Concepcion, especially with this new role with the departure of Encho Serrano and Justin Baltasar.
Agree. Tsaka nandun sa, I felt his volume of shots, as you see that basket made again by Renz Gabat, the volume of shots got affected because for the most part in the third quarter, they've almost gone exclusively to Larry Muyang on the low block. And it worked. Kaya ganun na nangyari. And then in the fourth quarter, Raymond Binuya was the hot hand, so he was getting those volume shots. But I do love that soundbite right there para dito sa sa kay Archie Concepcion.
Here's the shot by Reg Gabat. And Zamboanga already has 9 steals and most of them coming yung mga turnover points, no?
Right.
You already see the +7 itong Zamboanga in terms of that department against Pampanga.
Tsaka yung areas on the floor where they double, getting in the passing lanes, able to steal it. That's where they really got all those deflections and additional possession para sa kanila.
Very disruptive indeed itong Zamboanga.
Warning on number
Much
0,
as-
Michael Are.
Much as when
for second
you
motion.
watch a basketball game, you try and look only for the most part at the 3 key stat lines: points, rebounds, and assists. But I tell you, turnovers, that's a crucial part of that stat line. It tells you how efficient you are and how much of the turnovers that you forced, you actually converted points to your end.
At ito yung huli, no? We reviewed that one. Foul on Pampanga. Grayson Credo missing on a 3. Chris Lalata, susugod. Puts it up, no good. Tapikan ng bola. Ball will go back to Pampanga.
Gusto ko yung segment ng soundbite na yun. I love it. And, lalo na yung, the message that's being relayed by whoever's featured. And Archie, I felt, just said all the right things.
Saka Coach Mike may chip on his shoulder yan eh.
Yes.
Si Archie. Because, he won. He was a big part of how they won those 2 championships. But he played a different role in those 2 titles that they had. He took a back seat to, kanina ko pa nga binabanggit, no, si Balti, saka si Encho Serrano. Remember, in Season 4, bago dumating sila Balti, he was the main guy. Meanwhile, more on that, let's go to Sid.
Ken, Coach Mike, alam ko sabi ni Coach Pedi, kalimutan na daw yung last game, no? Pero meron pang kwento itong si Archie Concepcion. Kwento niya, hindi siya nakatulog, marami siyang inisip, bumaba yung moral niya, na inaya pa daw niyang tumakbo yung kanilang ball boy that same night para makapag-extra, para makapag-isip. Sabi ni Coach Pedi sa kanya, ikaw na ang inaasahan sa team na to ever since you know when to take charge. At yan ang kailangan mo, lalo na ngayon. Magbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
Next 3 games for Pampanga, they're running into a gauntlet because on the 29th of May, they will take on Pasay. It does not get any easier on June 6 versus the undefeated Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. And on the 10th, kalaban nila ang Rizal Centro Mall Golden Coolers. A tough stretch for the defending champions. But going back, Sid was mentioning about yung si Archie hindi nga makatulog, no? And kanina ko binabanggit ko na rin, Coach Mike, he has a chip on his shoulder because in Season 4, you remember, he was probably the go-to guy during that time. And yun nga nag-step back siya season 5, season 6. They won those titles and I'm sure that's something that he really wanted. Pero yun nga nag-a-adjust siya sa role niya ulit ngayon na isa sa mga inaasahan talaga ng matindi ni Coach Pedic Di Matulak. And you had a story about yung bago nung laro nila sa Caloocan, di ba, Coach?
Yeah. I feel si Archie understood that itong next 5 games would be very crucial to us, stretching from that game against Caloocan, because it's Caloocan their game, then this one Zamboanga, then there's Pasay, Nueva Ecija, and what was the last one?
Rizal.
Right. So those 5 teams, he understands. Oh boy, mabigat tong mga larong to. And so in that very first game of that 5-game stretch against Caloocan at 6 o'clock in the morning, when I woke up and I opened my Facebook, I saw Archie Concepcion was live streaming an early shooting session by himself on the floor.
No oras yun, Coach?
Alas 6 ng umaga before he went to that game in Bataan.
Oo.
And so, that to me already tells you the amount of dedication and the amount of acceptance of Archie, understanding, gotta do better in this 5-game stretch.
And yung evolution ni Archie did not go overnight, no?
Oh, yeah.
Throughout the years, dating back to his playing years with Arellano, he wasn't this type of player. There were spurts, kaya niyang umiscore. Well, speaking of scoring, you see Michael Ari with that big shot from the outside. Zamboanga with a 4-point lead. But Pampanga's still having trouble dealing with this Zamboanga squad that refuses to give an inch. Oh, but JLC able to slide in and score first 2 points for John Lloyd Clemente.
Well, insofar as post plays have been inside the paint, we've seen it only twice. A lot of it has been ball on the floor, paint touches, see if we have a rim attack. If not, then we spray it out. Yun ang ginagawa ng Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Right now, you're down 2 points, but you should like where you are because you're keeping a close game against a very, motivated Zamboanga team.
Kawilan
Oh, man.
gets it a goal from beyond the arc. JP Kawilan, first field goal. And Zamboanga now up by 5.
And that left-hand corner 3 has almost been exclusive para dito sa Zamboanga, no?
Lalata. Yan yung mga mark improvement din naman ni Chris Lalata coming back here in the MPBL. Saka yung yung passing niya and that pinch post, no?
Yeah. I'll go for a 2-for-1 here.
Let's see how Reg Gabat will deal with this defense of Archie Concepcion. He fades away. That's off the mark. Lalata went up without any sort of plan whatsoever. Bola babalik sa panig ng Zamboanga.
Yun yung mga moment of indecision na wish I could take that back. Sana I could have taken back. You had Larry Muyang was way ahead of you. Alam mo wala makakapigil dyan downhill.
Actually, yun yata yung unang nakita niya. Pero
nag-alangan
nag-alangan siya
Oo.
Yung turnovers 11 already for Pampanga. Bumaro a bit too handsy. Yan ang mga competitor.
Oh, yeah. At saka what you love about Chino as well, kahit anong bungguan yan, hindi mo makikita aatras na ganyan. Si Ichi, ganun din.
Sanay na sanay yan.
Oo.
Gino Mosqueda.
Wow, what a play.
Ichi Altamirano. Oh, goaltend.
Oh, wow.
Basket counts for Zamboanga.
What a play that was. Went from a back pick to a middle ball screen to a low stagger to the drive down the gut.
Last shot time for Pampanga. Concepcion crossover. Floats one up. Off the mark. And Kawilan will not get it off in time. And the second quarter comes to a close. Zamboanga showing us why they are the top team currently in the South Division. They have turned heads. And Pampanga having to deal with this artillery of Zamboanga at the moment. At the half, 32-27. Zamboanga with a 5-point lead over Pampanga.
Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya. That is the most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way up and goes down again. Straight left lands for Manny. Does he have Colo in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he finds the straight left hand. And there's the punching man. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
Right now, it seems like every extra possession is going to the side of Pangasinan, and they convert. The Heat Waves up by 11, and this has been a collective effort.
On the second chance opportunity, an off-ball movement. Hockey assist by Gabo, who got the offensive rebound. Direct assist for Talio to Flores. 11-point lead.
Only fitting that he leads this team in the MPBL. Comboy on the run. Adlawan. Oh, access denied!
Wow! Oh my goodness.
Cebu Classic defense on point.
What a way to swat that shot away.
Couple of layups para kay Eman Calo. Thought it was a goaltend there. Lastimosa with a tough drive.
Sometimes you got players na talagang mas gusto pa yung may bunggo. And si Carlo ang isa na doon. It's been pretty much the rebounding action, allowing for second chance opportunities.
63-68, baseline inbound for Basilan. Cabagnol from the corner. Big shot from the Crunchman. It's a 2-point game. Anxious moments here for Binyan, but what a play from Coach Rich Alvarez to free up the Crunchman for the corner three.
Well, you gotta credit Eman Calo for that perfect pass. Just on that catch and shoot motion for Alex Cabagnot. They've had, what, 5 in succession ba? Kasi si Val Chauca nakaisa rin kanina. Oh!
Jeff Comia, binitbit muna ang bola bago tinapos sa kabila. What a move from Jeff Comia.
2 points yun, pero mukhang 3 points sa effort eh, no? Grabe yung finish na yun ni Jeff Comia. Just a master in dribble penetrations.
Wow. Taking the lead here, 42-40, under a minute to play. Wamar against Macaloni now. Wamar is ahead. Wamar floats. What a shot.
Now they go for the switch. Malaking yung big man ang kumuha, no? Kay Orlan Wamar was able to beat Macaloni. But how about that
That's Steph
finger roll?
Curry-esque.
Montuano, balik kay Robbie Manalang. 8 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. Robbie trying to turn the corner. Forces up a free. Oh, banks it in! Robbie Manalang under the rest. Able to will that one through.
My goodness. I was gonna say, nasa isip ko na rin yung sasabihin ko. I was gonna say, what a terrible take by Robbie Manalang. Answered the call the past few games, including this one. Tampos gets ahead. Tampos hangs in the air and gets the bucket. The hoop and the harm para kay Boom Boom Tampos.
Oh my goodness, Javi. The elevation, the finish through contact.
Defying the laws of physics, Boom Boom Tampos featured in our play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet. I will absolutely feel more game if I see more shots like that from Boom Boom Tampos.
and one unable to capitalize on that steal. Pero here comes Nueva Ecija. The spin cycle and the finish. The former MVP, JC Marcelino. You know what? This is too big of a game for JC Marcelino not to make an impact.
Because we heard the oohs and ahs even before the shot. Doon sa spin move pa lang, narinig mo na sa crowd.
Only have one timeout here in overtime. Wala nang timeout ng Pasig. Garcia having trouble. Gets it to Lester Reyes. Robbie Manalang attacks. Kick out pass. Jaime against two defenders. Getting that shot up and in. 23 points for Papa Cheats.
He has defied the defense numerous times in this game. Tough shot after tough shot. I thought Manalang would have been better off here trying to go inside into the basket, trying to sneak his way past that help defender. I thought he could have scooped a shot in on that left side, but still giving it to that deep corner kay Chito Jaime.
the defensive masterclass in the first half. Zamboanga leads Pampanga by 5, 32-27. Ken Pangilinan with Coach Mike Perez, and at courtside we have Miss Sydney Crespo. And Coach Mike Zamboanga was the one who set the tone in this one. They had that 10-3 start. Humabol yung Pampanga, eventually took the lead. Actually, we had 5 deadlocks and 5 lead changes to this one. But Zamboanga, just a little bit better in terms of their intensity and effort in the first half.
Yeah. And we talked about it. Ang ganda ng mga unang possessions, both ends of the floor para dito sa Zamboanga, sticking close and very deep, disciplined on their offensive and defensive schemes. They forced these turnovers, 11 of them on Pampanga, to which they got 14 points. And out of that 14 points, 7 of that were actually on fast break points. And 4 of those 11 turnovers that Pampanga got forced into actually came from Archie Concepcion. And so he didn't commit those mistakes early in the game. He committed that later in the half. And your inside points pretty much dominated by Zamboanga because of those dribble penetrations. But for the most part, this is actually a close game that Pampanga Giant Lanterns, I know, can recover from.
Gonzalo Coriza hit 2 threes in the first quarter. All 6 of those coming in that particular period. 5 points each from Donald Gumaru, Chris Lalata, and Archie Concepcion. For Zamboanga, Reg Gabat with 8, Michael Are with 6, and Altamirano 5, and Kawilan with 3 points. Noticeably absent sa graphic na yan, Coach Mike, was itong si Larry Muyang, who was surprisingly well contained in the first half. Only 2 points in 14 minutes.
Well, I don't know if we can say the same here in the second half, especially in the third quarter.
All right, we have a feature here. Let's listen in to this one.
Definitely, we need to adjust our defense this second half. And turnover, minimize turnover. Wala silang teamwork. Kanya-kanya. Kailangan nila, they have to pass the ball, rotate the ball.
Ang napaka-malumanay na boses ni Coach Alan Trinidad. Of course, long-time consultant for Pampanga. Staple na yan sa mga Kapampangan. I remember him back, I'm not sure if you watched the NBA before. He was with the Pampanga Dragons before. He was a coach there. The likes of sila Ato Agustin was there. Bong Alvarez was part of that. And ngayon, 20 plus years later, still here trying to coach itong team ng Pampanga this time in the MPBL.
Well, that love for the game never runs out. Regardless of how young you are or how much tenured you have been in this game or any league for that matter, at any level, that passion for the game is really never gonna fade out. But I like, again, the sound bites that tell you perspectives from the team's viewpoint, no? And they just keep on saying the right things. And yung acceptance ba, I really admire that in teams because that really is the start of where you start building from.
Siyempre, shout out to JQ. So yung mga nakakapulot ng mga ganyang soundbites natin, di ba?
JRQ.
JRQ?
Oh, yeah.
Ito, LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL.
And also one of the guys who's been one of the avid followers of the MPBL every game. He messages me, Coach, ganda ng game or what have you. Want to give a quick shout out to Mike Montellano of Montellano Kicks. He's one of the leading sneakers and shoe providers down in the South. Ang dami mga players from the MPBL na kumukuha rin ng sapatos sa kanya. And right now they're printing out jerseys also. And I'd like to make a shout out to Mike Montellano, to Ado, Ken, and Angelo. Well, more hard work for you guys on those printing and more power sa business ninyo on the shoes. I think I'm gonna get one from him.
Ayun.
Next week. Malahan nakita ko yung kay Ascom, ang ganda eh.
Si Ascom talaga eh.
Oo. Doon na-inspire eh.
Oo. The Jordans.
Yes.
JP for free. Book it. And now Zamboanga with his biggest lead at 12 points.
That ball's gonna go to Larry Muyang na. It should go and play through Larry.
Pero you gotta give credit din sa depensa ng Zamboanga because ngayon nangyayari basta may pasa sa poste, there's that immediate double team waiting for them.
Yeah. And they're doing the right moves off the post. So when you saw that little post split action under there.
3-point shot at sa atin yan ng Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances. It was a big three knockdown by JP Kawilan. Larry Muyang. And still having trouble putting the ball to the hoop. Lucky break for Pampanga, pushing foul called on Abdul Sawat. That's already his third foul though.
You gotta watch it. You understand, he's the leading guy in most stats para dito sa Zamboanga, itong si Abdul Sawat.
Cross-court pass, Archie to Renz. Alcoriza, wala. Michael Are grabs the rebound. How about Michael Are stepping up in the absence of Roy Sumang?
Yeah.
Here he feeds JP, who that time can connect from the outside.
The guy's got 5 rebounds and 4 assists already. And Michael Are.
Binuya. Pinuntahan si Archie. Pupukol sa tres. Back rims it. Tatakbo si Michael Are. Numbers here for the guys in orange. James Una gets blocked by Archie Concepcion.
Yun yung sinasabi ko eh. Hindi umi-score pero bumabawi sa depensa. Oh, wow.
Oh, what a move. The dipsy-do by Renz Alcoriza.
That to me is a really good combination, both ends of the floor for the Giant Lanterns. Archie getting a stop and Renz finishing the other way.
39-29. James Una catches. Short on the jumper. The rim run, but that pass too strong. Good intention. But poor execution there for the Giant Lanterns.
The pass was really just too loud for Renz Alcoriza to ever recover from.
Gexer, great move of the game, born for greatness. Renz Alcoriza has been playing well lately for Pampanga. 39-29. Reg Gabat likes this matchup against JLC. One-on-one. Gabat gets past JLC, lays it up and in.
Oh, man. Ang daming pagkakataon na makafinish ng ganun para dito kay Gabat eh, no? Oh, there you go.
Larry Muyang, his first field goal in the third. Only has 4 points though.
That's your third quarter man right there in Larry Muyang. I mean, when the chips are down, you expect he's gonna take over.
What do you think has been the biggest factor in how Larry Muyang has been somehow contained here in this ball game? As we see, Reg Gabat with a big triple to push the lead up to 13.
Well, it goes back to the defense of Zamboanga. I mean, if he's one pass away on the low block, you know, they just keep making it difficult for that wing guy to even give him a pass. And if he does get the ball inside the paint, it's tough to score. There's always that secondary help guy that, you know, makes things difficult and puts a lot of pressure on his attack inside the paint. Much like how JMO experienced it earlier. But the thing is, the downside now, if you play a lot of defense, pressure, mas lalo na nakadiin, eventually yung fouls dumarating. Kaya ngayon, ano ba, pang-apat na yata ni, ano, no?
Apat na.
Pang-apat na ni Abdul Sawat. Now, that's not good news for Zamboanga, but the good news is you still got James Sena in there that could also contribute para dito sa Zamboanga sikat.
Ang sikip eh for Pampanga. Not a lot of breathing room. As this free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
Yeah. There's actually 2 ways that you try and defend a very dominant big man. One is you guard that wing guy who passes that ball to him. 2, you front the big man and then have a help site on the back so that if the pass goes high, yung defender sa likod ang pwedeng kumuha ng bola na yun.
And yung defensive principles of Zamboanga coming into play. Tignan mo yung kung paano nila i-contain yung mga pick and roll actions, that low post action nga na, you know, Larry Muyang has been successful time and time again they're taking those away. Pero ito ang pwedeng gawin ng Pampanga, get into transition and score easy baskets.
Yeah, doon nagsimula yon sa depensa ng Pampanga. And Andre Arminion was the nail guy. He just kept staying there on the nail, not allowing that drive down the middle. Once you get that ball deflection, and they try to run it the other way.
Pampanga trying to make their move, down by 10. Past the halfway point of the third quarter. Give and go. Clemente lost it. Another turnover against the Giant Lanterns. Arminion almost got it, but Gino Mosqueda recovers.
Talk about not giving up, ano?
Andre. Down low to Larry Muyang. Quick move to the basket, but can't convert. Altamirano will settle things down for Zamboanga. Ichi. Gumaru has the foot speed and gets the layup. Getting past James Sena after getting the steal.
Not a good set for Zamboanga that time around. Chino was trying to tell Ichi, let's settle down. Let's get to the two for one.
Ichi pupukol. Binawi. 3-point shot by Altamirano.
Bawi si Ichi that time. So kita mo si Chino kagad kausap si Ichi. Usap tayo, kinig tayo sa mga pinag-uusapan natin sa loob. And Ichi able to, get that basket in, much to his delight.
How about Zamboanga firing on all cylinders right now? And that's their 5th three-pointer. And it pushes the lead up to a baker's dozen. It's 49-36. Timeout on the floor for Pampanga.
Welcome back to the MPBL. Coach Egay says if bigs lang ang basihan, he thinks advantage pa rin talaga ng Pampanga yan. Igilos is consistent, Muyang potential candidate for MVP this season. So he emphasized the goal was really to limit their touches. Now after the first half, mag-focus rin daw sila sa second chance points at kailangan nilang paghirapan ng opportunities na yan. Special mention nga si JP Kawilan kanina. Sabi ni Coach Egay, okay lang mag-miss, normal yan, pero huwag ka mawalan ng kumpiyansa. Sabay kita nyo, 3 points from JP here in the third quarter. It's important for Zamboanga to keep this fire because Coach Egay already mentioned that they tend to struggle in the fourth quarter. Coach Egay and Coach Bong reminded them that they're already doing good. They just need more patience in offense. Ken, Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat, Sid. And what do you think, Coach Mike? I think their game plan has been, for the most part, been working here para dito sa Zamboanga at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm sure Coach Egay and the coaching staff have scouted that last game. Si Gumaru knocking down the three. Scouted that last game where everything went through Larry Muyang on the low block, and that's where the Giant Lanterns made their run. And what they've done so far is to limit those touches, especially on that post area, para kay Larry Muyang or even si J.Mo Egulos. What ang ginagawa nila is that, okay, pigilan namin kayo pumasa sa poste. Pag na-receive niyan, nakadouble na kami kagad on that first dribble, which is exactly what happened on the couple of possessions earlier that we saw on Zamboanga. And if you're gonna have off-ball action with cross screens underneath, ina-anticipate na nila, naka-front na sila kagad.
And yung comfort level nung bigs ng Pampanga, Muyang still only 4 points, Cristalata with 5. Alcoriza, Gumaru have been getting their share, but the normal guys that you would expect scoring like Archie Concepcion, JLC, and si Larry Muyang, lahat talagang na-shutdown na dito ng Zamboanga.
At saka even sa length of the floor defense, sana if we could see that last play where Gumaru actually received that outlet pass from J.Mo Egulos. You see 4 orange shirts right there against Gumaru. It could have been just a 2 versus 1. Pero hinabulan pa nila ng iba pang defenders.
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer. And those three that I mentioned, who are all scoring in double figures, John Lloyd Clemente, Archie Concepcion, Larry Muyang, only combined 13 points. And it's not just that, yung number of attempts nila from the field. Si Muyang only has 7 attempts, Archie 5, 5 din for Clemente. As you see Chris Zalata get the steal, but don't look now. Just as we were talking about the struggles of Pampanga, they're right back in it here.
And they always will be in it. You know, you're talking about the defending champions, and really just a matter of will. And so far, this is one action that they have not stopped. Chris Lalata, elbows, drives. Chris has been winning in that aspect of the game.
Lead has been trimmed down to 7 with 2 minutes and 34 seconds remaining. We'll pause for break. Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. Happy to have you with us here in Caloocan. Head of Operations, Emerita. Head of Security, Rudy Distrito.
The peacemaker.
Na alam ko kamakailan lang nag-celebrate din ng birthday.
Yep.
May celebrant din pala, si Boss Rudy.
Happy birthday, Tito Rudy. I used to just watch him when he was playing for Ginebra noon. Grabe yan.
Ginebra ba siya? Ginebra, no? Or Swift? Nag-Ginebra din.
Alam ko nag-Ginebra eh.
JLC. Can't get it to go. Michael Are with his 8th rebound to go along with 6 points and 4 assists. So he's been picking up the slack with Roy Sumang not able to play today.
Oh, no.
Great backdoor cut. Reg Gabat kissing it off the window and in.
The thing with basketball nowadays, to which we see in the Zamboanga Sikat in that last offense, you know, guys are outside on the perimeter and really just spaces that floor real well, opening up that gut for anyone to do a backdoor, back cut. Exactly what happened in that last sequence. Again, everybody's out there, nobody's inside the paint. Look at that.
Oh, naka-space out yung mga bigs ng Pampanga eh. No one really dropping down, and as a result, James Una tried to beat Jamo Eguilos off the dribble but can't finish. Naka-spread out tong Zamboanga eh.
That's the least spot on the floor you want to do a handoff. Right around that corner near the half-court area.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Yeah, and si Paundo ba yun? He was the tag man, pero late na rin yung pagkakatag niya eh. Oh, man.
James Una with 8 points, 7 rebounds. And Pampanga trailing by 11 again, 53-42. Yung depensa nung Zamboanga dito, coach, holding Pampanga to only 42 points, and we're almost done here in the third.
Yeah, and Zamboanga actually outscoring itong Zamboanga in terms of points in the paints. They've gotten their ways in trying to get into that paint, either by paint touches or paint finishes. Another one right here.
Oh, Reg Gabat absorbs contact, makes the basket plus a foul. Reg Gabat with 17 points.
And they have kept that corner empty on that ball side of the floor, on that two-man side, and really just allowing that drive straight up. Larry tried to help out. He was pretty much late.
Reg Gabat coming into this game only averaging 7.3 points. But has poured on here in the third.
And really put a lot of pressure on Andre Arminion being the primary defender. He just got beat.
Yeah. Pampanga trailing by 14. Muyang visibly frustrated. Can't get a ball. Now it's Armenion who drives, no good. And Zamboanga executing their game plan to perfection. Kawilan drills in a free. What a statement by the Zamboanga Sikat.
Larry Muyang's been getting that seal underneath, trying to battle against James Una. You know that Larry Muyang's got that advantage underneath. And so the moment that you see him seal off against James, you gotta get him the ball real quick. Pero hindi rin ganun kadali, hindi nakikita kasi ang ganda rin ng depensa sa bola nitong Zamboanga.
Doing this without Super Sumang, but Kawilan, Reg Gabat have been huge. But the backdoor layup goes for John Lloyd Clemente. 2 seconds remaining. Michael Are will not get it off in time, but what a third quarter for the Zamboanga Sikat, Coach Mike.
You force Pampanga into 15 turnovers and get 22 points out of it, you would have already done your job defensively.
10 of his 18 points coming in this pivotal quarter. Reg Gabat has certainly come out to play with those aggressive drives, hitting those tough jumpers. Highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
And totoo naman, no, nagsisimula talaga lahat sa depensa. And yung dami nung fast breaks na nakuha nitong Zamboanga, they got 17 out of that. While the bench has been pretty big para dito sa Pampanga, they're a +4 rather in that department. And clearly, the turnovers have really made this lead possible for Zamboanga.
We head into the fourth quarter. Zamboanga with a 15-point lead over Pampanga, 59-44. LGR, fan outfit of the game. Of course, LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Coach Mike, kanina, 49-42 ito, no? Naibaba na ng Pampanga yung labang to 7. But Zamboanga finishing the quarter strong with a 10-2 run. You see the quarter scoring. Zamboanga outscoring Pampanga in every quarter, 10-9, 22-18, and 27-17.
What's even more concerning is yung point production has gone up considerably. And they haven't, speaking of the Giant Lanterns, broken the 20 point output in a quarter. It's only, 10, 18, and 17. The 22 and 27 have been pretty big quarters for Zamboanga Sika.
Noroy Sumang, Abdul Sawat in foul trouble. But Zamboanga just continuing their spectacular play at the moment. Egilos, kasama si Raymond Binuya, Archie Concepcion, Larry Muyang, and John Lloyd Clemente. Concepcion takes it, can't make it, and the woes continue for Archie. Only 2 out of 6.
Well, first off, somebody's gotta spark this Giant Lanterns team. And somebody's gotta provide that needed energy.
Kawilan continues to fire and continues to bury freeze left and right.
Kawilan right now is 4 out of 9 from 3. And that's all he's made. Hasn't made any attempts from the perimeter. And this step back, understanding that he's got Larry Muyang on him, and Larry's not gonna spread out, extend that defense. Oh, what a move!
Concepcion, a rare bucket. Able to blow past his defender, but Pampanga still down by 16. 62-46.
Gotta go on a run now.
Sa poste naman ngayon pupunta si Kawilan. Nilabas papunta kay Abdul Sawat. His free will not work. Muyang the rebound. His fourth. Archie using his left hand. Back-to-back baskets for the Royal Bazooka.
One thing that you want to do if you're Archie, gotta get yourself going here. 4 quick ones in the fourth quarter. Now you gotta get a stop.
Pampanga, you have to remember, in their championship runs, hasn't lost back-to-back games. And that's the one in danger right now because Zamboanga up by 14. And they continue to play hard, they continue to play well, getting a stop. 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth. 62-48.
Again, defense is extended. Everybody out in the perimeter. No one. No. Ooh. It's a foul. Jamo.
Oh, may hatak as he tried to impede the progress of JP Kawilan. Fast break game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme magpalamig, free installation for split type air conditioners.
And that time around, pretty good screen right there by Jamo Egulos, and Archie really attacking the rack, understanding that Abdul Sawat's already got 4 and he's not going to be challenged.
JP left that one short. Binuya with a running start. Goes right at Kawilan. Kissing it off the glass and in.
A couple of guys, holdovers from the championship team from the last 2 seasons, making things happen here for the Giant Lanterns.
Spin by Ichi. Foul against Larry Muyang, who immediately requests for a challenge here. Third foul on Lars. Medsalim comes in for JP Kawilan. Sa baseline, i-inbound ng bola ng Zamboanga. Oh, nakanakaw pa si James Una.
Oh, that's tough.
Archie Concepcion, elbow
There you
jumper.
go.
3 straight baskets for Archie, who's trying to will itong Pampanga back into this ball game.
Alam mo, nagustuhan ko doon. Habang binababa ni Raymond Binuya yung bola, sumisigaw si Archie na nandito ako. He was asking for the ball and he really wanted that shot.
You get a sense that he wants to take over at this juncture. So yun nga, coming to this game, yung gigil niya because of how he felt like was a subpar performance against Caloocan.
Yeah. And he knows that, if in this quarter he does not perform, they're going to be on a 2-game losing streak. And you're headed into that very important, big 3 games next time around.
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer. And right now, they are at number 4, 9-2. Pero just behind them, you have teams like Caloocan in there. Oh, the block by Sawat on Concepcion.
I love this aggressiveness by Archie right now.
But Sawat in his grill despite 4 fouls. Challenging that shot. And now they get a stop. Abdul Sawat on the other end scores.
Really goes back to points of turnovers.
Makita mo yung Abdul Sawat kahit 4 na yung foul. Kung paano dumepensa. Oh man. Altamirano swipes that ball loose. Foul given up by Binuya.
One thing that can't happen though is for the Giant Lanterns to stop making this comeback. They've had a good run, parang 8-point run with Binuya and Archie combined. So for last 2 possessions, they've come up empty.
What about Zamboanga? You gotta give credit with how they approach this game. Sticking to the game plan. Kung titignan mo yung especially mga set sila offensively, not a lot of one-on-one plays. As you see, Altamirano miss on that shot though. Pero yung depensa talaga the way they were able to handle business against the top scorers of Pampanga, that has been really impressive for them.
And it has really made the bigs of the Giant Lanterns be extended defensively outside. And so you take away that rim protection, shot blocking advantage of itong Pampanga Giant Lanterns with no big man right there on the paint.
So basically, taking Larry Muyang out of the equation. He's actually already on the bench.
Oh, wow.
Ganda pa nung pasahan, but James Una, no, but the stick back by Med Salim. What about Zamboanga?
And when you have your big man defending out in the perimeter, and the offense has backdoor cuts for big men downstairs, that pretty much is going to be advantage to the big guy. And look at this roll right there by James Una. They tried to double up against that action. James went in, and that put back right there pretty good para dito sa Sika.
Pampanga on the ropes, down by 17, 69-52. Captain Marbel, Commissioner Kenneth Duremdes, joined by Head of Operations Emereta and Head of Security Rudy Distrito, Boss A.G. Gonzalez. And his team having trouble against this pretty determined Zamboanga squad. Who would have thought at this juncture that this will be the score, 69-52. Past the halfway point of the fourth. Although if you're Pampanga, still enough time to launch a comeback, but not a good sign coming off a timeout. A turnover, already their 18th. Med Salim gives it up to Chino Mosqueda. Laban kay Raymond Binuya. Med Salim back to Chino. Guarded by Binuya. This is Abdul Sawad. 4 seconds on their shot clock. Sawad, kick out. Salim for free, short. Oh, again, those 50-50 balls working to Zamboanga's favor.
And them really just understanding when that shot is gonna go. That's pretty much how it's been. Offensive rebounding.
Oh my goodness, James Una coming up with a steal. Already 15 steals by Zamboanga.
Oh, man.
And it's been a disaster for Pampanga on the offensive side of the floor.
Well, at least in the last 6 quarters that these Pampanga Giant Lanterns have played, the best quarter that they played will be that entire third of that game against Caloocan and half of the fourth quarter. I'd say they could have gotten out with that win in that match against Caloocan, pero yung end game execution lang talaga naging challenge para sa kanila. But so far, these quarters have all been won by Zamboanga. Matter of fact, from the very first possession of the jump, it's been all Zamboanga.
Alam mo kung siya natawa ko kasi nagka-agreean na si Chino Mosqueda sa si Raymond Binuya. Nung palabas na si Raymond, nung nag-aasaran pa rin sila ni Chino, tumuro siya sa dalawang daliri niya.
Oh yeah.
I have 2 championships.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
But right now though, Zamboanga just having their way, putting on a clinic.
Ganun naman talaga yun. Pag ganung usapan, wala ka nang masasabi. Totoo naman yun. And, you know, this might just be a small hump in this journey this season para dito sa Giant Lanterns.
But take nothing away from this Zamboanga squad. And taking it right to the defending champions. A 21-point lead. We'll pause for a break.
Think we're doing good sa defense namin. Yung energy, tsaka yung pinractice namin sa the past whole week nangyayari ngayon. Talagang nakapokus sila ko sa defense. So So ayun, nangyayari sa game namin. Tsaka yung energy, yun talaga yung tingin ko magpapanalo sa game namin. Hindi kami nag-give up sa depensa.
Roy Sumang in street clothes, unable to suit up, but I'm sure he's a happy man right now the way his team is performing against the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Boy, what an impressive outing here for the Zamboanga Sikat. Larry Muyang. And that has been the story of this game, Coach Mike. You know, the discomfort that Pampanga experienced all throughout this ball game.
Well, it matters how you really start a game. And one thing that the Giant Lanterns, I'm sure, would have noticed, at least in this couple of games that they played, it was a flat start of a quarter. Against Caloocan, they came up only with 10 points. And dito sa game na to, they started out only with 9 points. And so you're the defending champions, and you know na you're so much better than that.
Yeah. Long silver lining lang for them is it came here a bit early in the season. Wala pa naman tayong kalahati. Lot of games still left though for Pampanga to play. We already mentioned and we already displayed yung mga susunod nilang kalaban. As RG Concepcion buries a free from the top of the key. Has 14 points.
If you're a fan of the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, napakahalaga na even at this point, ito si Archie Concepcion patuloy na pumupukol sa labas. I mean, sure you lost this game, but you cannot lose on your confidence. You understand the next 3 games are going to be very important, and you want to build on that.
Now for Zamboanga, there were probably some people, James Una with 12 points after that basket, were probably some MPBL fans who got a little bit surprised with how they perform. In fact, they're number 1 nga in the South Division. Maybe some would question the quality of opposition that they have faced so far. But man, this win by Zamboanga, this impending win over Pampanga, says a lot about how teams should really view them moving forward, Coach Mike.
Yep. At saka tama ka doon. Very, very early on, they were saying, hindi pa naman ganun ka top tier yung mga, normally mga nasa lower tier or mid tier yung mga nakakalaban nila. But, every game, the expectation has risen internally. I'd like to think para dito sa Zamboanga Sikat, because they believe in themselves. Man, the guys that we have, the system that we use, and the togetherness that we show on the floor should lead us somewhere. And so you just gotta keep on believing and keep on pursuing how they've been performing. And yung Ilagan game, that was a tough match, but they really just kept together.
Kasi yung mga nakalaban nila, almost yung karamihan doon below 500 eh.
Yes.
Including like yung mga Bulacan, Marikina, Manila, Sarangani, Val City. Mga nakalaban na lahat nitong Zamboanga. And then to add on to that, they had those 2 losses against Imus and Mindoro. Theoretically, teams that they're supposed to beat.
Agree.
So yun nga eh. Ang dami pa ring questions heading into this matchup as we check out this play of the game. Brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game by 1xBet. Kumbaga yung parang signature wins nila came against Muntinlupa and Ilagan. But here against Pampanga, and the way they won this game, Coach Mike, it speaks volumes to how impressive their run has been so far this season.
And what's made this game even more promising para dito sa Zamboanga Sikat, well, you pointed out earlier, 1, walang Roy Sumang. They did well. Second, in my opinion, pretty much no Abdul Sawat in this game. He's only scored 2 points.
Just of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Abdul Sawat only has 2 points on 1 out of 4 shooting. And he's got 4 personal fouls on him. So technically, this shows you this is a team that's not highly dependent on its stars, namely Sumang and Sawat.
And those were their top 2 scorers coming into this game.
Agree.
Actually, sila yung dalawa lang in double figures on average in terms of points.
And so now, if you're Zamboanga, 1, you cannot fall into complacency. You beat the defending champions, fine, but you cannot fall in complacency. Second, if you're the Giant Lanterns now, you got to build on this. Use this as motivation on the next 3 games and prove to everyone that, you know, we can win against the top tier teams. And those 2 losses, you know, we lost a tough one against Caloocan and we really just did not, you know, live up against Zamboanga.
For Pampanga, Pasay, Nueva Ecija, Rizal coming up on their schedule. Particularly that game against Nueva Ecija will be at the Brenzy Yao Convention Center. Actually, all of their games on June will all be at home at the Brenzy Yao Convention Center. So that could be something that they could look forward to as they try to bounce back from this loss. But what a win, what a victory by the Zamboanga Sikat in this game, Coach Mike.
Yeah, I agree. And we've been saying it from the get-go. They've gotten, for the most part, to where they want to go on the floor and execute what they want to do on the defensive side of the floor. Traps, double teams, defending against post-ups. They've pretty much done it in this game.
Best player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Reg Gabat piloting Zamboanga to their 6th straight victory. And this one, a big fish that they caught against Pampanga.
Well, definitely a momentum-building win para dito sa Zamboanga, heading into the next matches. This is gonna be doing well sa kanilang kumpiyansa.
Our final score, 63 for Pampanga, 76 for the winners sa Zamboanga Sikat. Let's go to Sid.
Thank you so much, Ken. Coach Mike Rex, congratulations. Sabi ni Coach Egay, this could be a statement win kapag chinaga nyo ang inyong opensa, kapag na-limit nyo sila Muyang, pag chinaga nyo ang 4th quarter. Sabi niya, you will gain respect after this win at nagawa nyo yan, natalo nyo ang defending champions.
So, nag-stick lang kami sa game plan nila, Coach, sa mga defensive scheme namin na ibigay lang namin yung low of average nila, which is yung 3 points. So, kapag tumirsal na ng 3 points, sabi nila, Coach, magdasal na lang kami na huwag pumasok. So, yun, nag-click naman.
Rex, I'm sure marami kayong pinaghandaan para sa game na to, no? Kahit na wala si Roy ngayong gabi, meron siyang injury. Marami kayong quality contributions mula sa ibang mga teammates mo, mula sa'yo. Anong masasabi mo sa binigay ng team mo ngayong gabi?
So, yun, credit sa mga coaches, sa game plan nila, tapos sa mga teammates ko na yun, collective effort lagi, every game. Tapos every game kailangan may nag-step up kasi nawala yung veteran namin si Kuya Roy. So yun, Kuya Roy, pagaling ka para makabalik agad.
Rex, what a win for you guys. Sino gusto mong batiin at pasalamatan?
So yun, unang-una nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord sa binigay niyo ang blessings and opportunity sa akin. Sa team, binabati ko rin yung Gabat family, yung mami at daddy ko, yung mga kapatid ko, si Polo, si Rab, si Joseph, si Dave, si Abby, Acuña family, Lara family, Albay family, Obeas family. Tapos yung girlfriend ko nanonood. Yun, thank you. Tapos yung Sikat Zamboanga, Family Brand Sardines, Ma'am Anita Cao, JNT Plasticware, TB11 Zamboanga, 96.3 IFM Zamboanga, City Foods, Maki Cooks. Congratulations to Congresswoman-elect Kachua for winning the elections. At salamat sa Zamboangueño. Muchas gracias sa walang sawang suporta. Tsaka binabati ko rin pala si Boss Ray tsaka si Coach Batman.
Alright, thank you so much and congratulations once again, Reg Gabat, our best player of the game, brought to us by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sid. Zamboanga now 11-2, number 1 in their division. Up next, the Imus Brotherhood will try to invade the home court of the Caloocan Batang Kangkalu, kaya manatiling nakatutok dito sa Marliga Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.